After making my previous video and going through all the points which were red flags, too obvious to me anyway, people still invested. So I realized there was a major problem in this space. So that's why I decided to make this video. What's going on? It's your boy Crypto Expat, back with another video. And in this video, we're going to talk about the difference between savvy investors and the difference between newbie investors. And hopefully you're about to learn from the points I'm giving you today in this video. Maybe you can make better choices, because if you don't, those people that are launching these projects, they're just going to take your Ethereum and you're going to get wrecked in the long term. So with that said, let's start. These are the top 10 reasons between savvy investor and a newbie investor. Number one, a savvy investor is happy to take 2x gains over and over again, whereas the newbie investor is always looking for the 100x gain. They're always looking for that next project that's going to make them filthy rich. And to find a 100x project, from my experience, having done over 120 ICOs, they're very rare, and dime in a dozen. You're better off focusing on taking the smaller gains and then repeating that process. That is exactly what a savvy investor does. Number two, savvy investor is very diligent and pays attention to detail. The devil is in the details. They understand if they pay attention to detail, they'll pick up things that newbie investors won't, and this can be the difference between make or break. And let me give you an example. If a savvy investor did their due diligence and then they found out, they did a background check on maybe the team or the devs, and they found out that maybe one of the team members or the CEO had a real sketchy background, and this project was just the next moneymaker for them, they would obviously be very cautious and probably not likely to invest in the project. Whereas a newbie investor does not pay attention to detail. They don't do their due diligence. They don't dig deeper. They wouldn't know that the CEO is a bit of a dodgy character, and they would invest in it to then possibly lose their money because of the rug pull or the money grab or whatever it is. Number three, a savvy investor always takes the time and researches the project in depth to understand all the different metrics and the risks involved in the project before making a decision. The newbie investor is lazy. They don't analyze the project. They don't deep dive into the different metrics which will show that the project is a good project or a bad project, or they don't even know what they're looking for. They don't even know the metrics. And that's the difference between savvy and a newbie investor. Number four, a savvy investor makes decisions based off data. A newbie investor makes decisions based off emotion. And this one is a big one, because what I'm seeing now in the marketplace is just newbies coming in, they get all emotional about it, they get attached to the project, and they invest and they can't pull out because they're emotionally attached to the project. Savvy investor doesn't do that. They look at the data, they analyze the data, they don't get emotional, and they make a decision based off metrics, possibly a score sheet, a percentage, whatever. They say yes or no. Simple. Number 5, A savvy investor is very picky on what projects to invest. They don't want to go in everything. They only want to go in the best projects. Less is more. Where the newbie investor will go into everything. They'll FOMO into everything. They don't want to miss out. Fear of missing out. They'll look at the project and they'll go, oh, if I don't go in this, I'll regret going in this. So they just FOMO into everything. And they don't understand that less is more. Picking the top projects and only investing in the top projects is a way to minimize getting wrecked. Number 6, savvy investor is never pressured by others. They do all their due diligence and they get all their data and they make a decision on that. However, a newbie investor is easily persuaded by others. They FOMO into things. They get their feedback from other newbie investors, maybe in Telegram or in Twitter. They use their sources of information are bad and they make bad decisions and they just follow everyone else. They're easily persuaded by others. Number 7, savvy investor cuts losses and exits. Whereas a newbie investor, they just hang on. They're too emotionally attached to the project. And when the project goes down, the project is just losing money, they stick with the project. They go down with the burning ship. They can't break free emotionally from the project. And they go down with the project. Number 8, a savvy investor makes quick decisions once data is available. Okay, they analyze a project, they get all the key metrics, which will either say, yes, it's a good project or not. They get the data and they make a decision fast, yes or no. A newbie investor, even if they have the data, they will make a slow decision. They'll sit on it. Usually by then, if it's a good project, they're too late. Number 9, a savvy investor is in it for the long haul. They understand this takes time. Going back to the first point I made. They're happy to take 2x gains. They're happy to do it over and over and again. A penny doubled, okay? Whereas a newbie investor, they lack patience. They're in it for the short term. They want to get rich quick overnight. They don't have the skills or the knowledge or the experience. And they just want to get rich overnight. It's not going to happen. Number 10, a savvy investor never quits. Even though investing in these projects is high risk, and they still, even savvy investors, will make bad decisions, they never quit. They just keep on persisting and moving forward. Whereas the newbie investor, as soon as they take a loss, or they get into a number of projects that just scam out or lose, because again it's their own fault, they haven't done their research or their due diligence, or they've FOMO'd into the project, or they just listen and easily got persuaded by the wrong people, they just throw their hands up and go, I'm quitting. And they're just going to move on, and they never stick it out long enough to really see those massive gains, whereas a savvy investor will. Alright guys, so there are my number 10 reasons which hopefully you can learn from the difference between savvy investors and newbie investors, and hopefully you will be in that other category where savvy investors are. Hope you got some value from this video. I hope you make better decisions in the future. If you have any comments, leave them below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.